Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Big Akar Ahmed and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about the 2024 Olympics. Yes, you have all seen it probably already. The blasphemy that has taken place at the opening ceremony, them mocking the Last Supper by Jesus, them showing the white horse coming in with the wings, the sign of the apocalypse, and all of these different things where they make a mockery of God, they make a mockery of religion, and they make a mockery of us, the people that they go ahead and try and control through the media. Now, before we go ahead and jump into what we saw here in the 2024 Olympics and how blasphemous and how disgusting that this is, we want to go ahead and talk about a matter that I've been wanting to talk about for quite some time when it comes to Olympics. I'm not sure why I haven't made a video on this before, and this is something that I thought I already made a video on, but we're going to go ahead and talk about this, right? Now, before the Olympics take place, months prior, before the Olympic Games actually go ahead and take place, there's an opening ceremony, they light the torch and stuff. They actually light the real torch in the real city of Olympia. So in the city of Olympia, located in Greece, in the original city of Rome, they go ahead and light the actual torch and do the actual ritual where they give this offering up to the sun god. And they do this months and months prior to the Olympic Games in the city of Olympia. Not in the city that they do the games in, if that's like Tokyo or Paris this year or whatever the case may be. But they go ahead and do it in the original city in Olympia. So I want to go ahead and show you guys that and show you guys what that looks like, because this whole Olympic Games ceremony, it all comes from Rome. It all comes from one of the most pagan societies on the planet, the society that crucified Jesus. If you're a Christian, you believe he was crucified. The Romans crucified him. If you're Muslim, you obviously don't believe Jesus was crucified, but you believe that this is the empire that tried to go against him. This is the empire that went against, the Muslim empire and everything of this nature. They are pagans who believe in gods like Zeus and Hades and, Poseidon, the god of water and the god of thunder and the god of animals. And they believe that these gods are the ones that do everything for them. They give these gods offerings, they play games, and they do Olympics, and they make sacrifices for these gods and entertain these gods. And this is disgusting that we still live in modern day Rome. That to this day, the United States and South America and Europe and everything that's considered a Western country or Western power is the Roman Empire. Nothing happened. They just rebranded. They changed their name, and the same thing is happening. They're still celebrating their winter solstice ceremonies during Christmas. They're still celebrating their spring solstice ceremonies during Easter. They're still doing their Olympic pagan rituals. They still do everything that they used to do today. It's just rebranded and hidden in plain sight. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this and see what that Olympic ceremony has to entail that happens months and months and months before the actual Olympic Games.
The official Olympic flame lighting ceremony in ancient Olympia, of course. The flame was lit throughout the duration of the Games, and that is the continuity that we're seeing in the modern era as well. Once this flame is lit, it will not be extinguished until the closing ceremony in Paris. That is, will concentrate the rays of the sun so that the flame can be lit here in front of the Temple of Hera, dedicated to the Queen of the Greek gods, Hera. It's one of the most...
So they light the flame using the sun. So there's a specific angle that they have to go ahead and light this flame on, and that specific angle will light the flame. They will use that flame that was lit by the sun and given an offering from the sun god. They will then light the actual flame for the Olympic ceremony, and that flame will not be put out. It will not be blown out until the end of the Olympics. So this came out 3 months ago. They did this 3 months ago, July 26th is the opening ceremony of the Olympics, but this happened 3 months prior to that. So this right here, this flame has been lit since then to now. And it won't be blown out until the end of the Olympic Games. So this is just going ahead and showing you how important this flame is in Olympia. They have to light it by the sun, and they have to have it on a certain angle, and then they light it, and they keep it lit for 3 months, 4 months at a time until the Olympic Games are completely over. This is a clear pagan ritual. They're obviously summoning jinn or demons and doing these sacrifices and doing these, these lighting ceremonies and things of this nature. It's really gross.
Impressive of the buildings that remain here on this ancient site. Originally built approximately 590 BC and stood until an earthquake in the early 4th century. And ahead of the lighting of the torch, the High Priestess will ask Apollo, the god of the sun, for his assistance in lighting the torch.
They'll ask Apollo, the god of the sun, to help them in lighting this torch. It's truly amazing. It's truly amazing how people who are religious, who believe in God, who are Christian or Muslim or Jewish, they get mocked and made fun of and destroyed. But these crazy people can go ahead and do this and make offerings to sun gods and do all of this wacko crap. And it's streamed on public television. It's seen as normal. It's branded as like this cool thing. Like, get out of here. If you turn down the lighting a bit and you got the right angle, you'd have a full scary movie scene right here. You get a whole trailer.
Ιερά σιωπή, να ηχήσει όλος ο αιθέρας, η γη, η θάλασσα και οι πνοές των ανέμων, όρη και τέμπη.
Like, all this to light a flame. It's crazy to me, man. It's so crazy to me that this is the world that we live in. This is what we entertain. We literally entertain the devil's game. Like, you can't be stupider than to not believe in God, but then do stuff like this and really, like, play with these spirits and play with this realm of jinn and of demons and do these rituals. It's crazy to me. And they do it on public television. They do it in the world's biggest events. They do it on purpose. And they mock you. And they mock God. And they do it right in your face. All right, so that's that.
This is all.
And I'm going to have to mute this. But this is the opening ceremony performances of the 2024 Olympic Games. So what we just saw before this was months prior, maybe like February time. In February, they went ahead and they lit this torch that is going to be lit and stay lit for the next 4 to 5 months until the Olympic Games end. And they're going to keep that lit. And they did this whole ceremony and this whole ritual in Olympia, the original city of Rome, right? It's located in Greece, I believe. So they do all of that, all this whole pagan ritual way before they make these offerings to the sun god. Sun god helps light their torch and all of this stuff. And this is months prior to what we're about to witness right here. Now, I thought I made a video on this before. Once again, this is something that more people should just pay attention to, man. Like, these worldwide events are so much more to the people who run things, or the elites, or to the devil. It's so much more to them because it's a way to expose their crookedness. It's a way to implement their disease and their sickness into the hearts and the minds of millions and millions and millions of people on the planet at one time. It's very easy to distract them using these events. So they do, and they do their little rituals, and they do all this stuff at that time to go ahead and show you what's going to happen, to go ahead and brainwash you into thinking some things are acceptable or okay. This whole entire French opening here is all about like drag queens and transgenderism, and it's demonic, and it's so sad that the world has come to the point that it's come to today, and no one does anything about it, bro. They just sit back and they watch as the world's going under fire. Everything that's happening, Ukraine, Haiti, Venezuela, Lebanon, what's happening to the Palestinian people, what's going to continue to happen all over the world, country by country by country by country, as the whole world is tied up into conflicts. And this is the type of stuff that they're trying to liberate. This is the type of stuff that they're trying to promote. And I believe this is all about like the liberation of France and liberating women and liberating this and liberating that. And it's so sick to as well to know that I also did a video on the hijab being banned. The hijab being banned from the 2024 Olympics, that the French players cannot go ahead and wear the hijab or they're kicked out of the Olympics. But you can strip down completely naked. You can wear a wig and grind around kids and promote, naked the Last Supper with Jesus and do all this blasphemous stuff. But God forbid you cover your hair. You got this full, heavy metal performance outside the castle here. Red smoke. The boat, it's supposed to stand for like liberation and liberating France. And you have a bunch of these homosexuals holding like sex books in the library and smiling at each other. They're liberated, they're free. All this colorful stuff. And like, people, look, when you wear makeup like that, you look like a clown. And I'm sorry, but you look like you're a clown. The only people that look like that are clowns. Clowns wear makeup like that, so you make fun of them, so you laugh at them, so they look funny when they're juggling balls around. You should not be dressed like that. You should not be acting like that as a full-grown adult. I'm sorry. And whatever books you guys are pulling off the shelf, I wish I could read French a little better so I understood what those exact words meant. But you're flashing these signs and these things into people's heads and these book names into people's heads. And all of this stuff is like, it's super weird, bro. It's super weird, and it's very, very upsetting. Like, here's the metal horse that came down the river, the water. He runs on top of the water. So this silver metal horse with this armored knight on it, he's running down the water. Is this the actual commercial for it? This is the actual commercial for it. And it's called Zeus, the Iron Horse. And Zeus is a Greek god. He's one of the top Greek gods, right? I don't know. They're just showing the construction of it and how it works, and how it's running on the water and whatnot. But this is what it looks like. And this is supposed to be a sign of like the 4 horsemen out of the Bible and the apocalypse and the end times. In these things, and it's a clear sign, bro. It's clear mockery, it's clear blasphemy, it's clearly in your face. And for anyone that it's just like, oh, it's just art, it's just I've been hearing this garbage for 27 years, and every single time it's just art, it gets worse and worse, and then it's just art, and then it gets worse and worse, and then it's just art, and then it's worse and worse, and it's just art, and then it gets worse and worse. at some point, you're going to have to stop saying it's just art and understand that this is way, way deeper than just art. It's to implement something in your head. And this is a part of the performance here. Moving over to X, you can see this naked blue guy dressed up as this Jesus figure, and it's saying liberation, and you have a bunch of kids in the background. Like, why are there kids in the background? Why do you need to put kids in the background? And right here, as you can see, he's laying on the table as the Last Supper, and he's singing, and he's giving his chant and speech, laying on the table. It's just pure mockery of the Last Supper story. A bunch of transgender, gay, straight up weirdos. There's a difference between being gay or being transgender, and then there's a difference between being a weirdo. These people are weirdos. They want to shake their genitals in your face. They want to strip down naked. They want your children. They want to look non-human, like this lady in the background looks like a reptile. They want to look anything but human, paint their bodies blue, be naked, shake their genitals in your baby's faces, just to feel accepted. It's so weird, it's so gross, and I don't know why this is acceptable, why this is normal, why this is okay to put in the Olympics. The Olympics is supposed to be classy. It's supposed to be a worldwide event. This is disgusting. This is like Pornhub type of, like porn. This is gross, and it's very sad to see that this is what the world has come to. This is protesters, thousands and thousands of protesters in France, Christian protesters protesting against the blasphemy of the opening ceremony. And then right here is Snoop Dogg, actually. Let's go ahead and hear what he has to say. He is wearing a chain, and I believe he performed as well. He's wearing a chain that is a goat, which is like Baphomet, the symbolism of the devil. And that goat has a diamond in the center of its forehead. And in Islam, the Dajjal, or the Antichrist, is symboled to have this glowing diamond in his forehead, or his third eye. And he's supposed to be blind in one eye, and he's supposed to have one of his eyes on his forehead, and it's supposed to be shining like the morning star, is the definition that it gives in the religion of Islam. And if you look in Hinduism, they have the dot on their forehead, and Shiva, she has a shining, glowing piece in the middle of her forehead. And as you can see, that Snoop Dogg here is wearing the symbolism of the Antichrist. He's wearing the Baphomet, a goat head with the diamond in the middle of the forehead. So let's see what he has to say about that.
I don't know what y'all thought this was, but this is the GOAT.
And just to forewarn you, he's going to swear because he's Snoop Dogg.
I had this made because somebody told me I was the GOAT. So I wanted to make me a GOAT chain. All that other shit y'all talking about, I don't know what y'all talking about, but this is the GOAT. Greatest of all time. With a blue diamond on his head, gold. GOAT. That other shit y'all talking about, miss me with that bullshit.
So basically he's saying, I got this chain made, it's a goat, and because I'm the GOAT, I'm the greatest of all time, so I made a goat necklace. I don't know what else you guys are talking about or trying to portray on me. This Baphomet goat devil with the piece in the middle of his forehead. It's a coincidence. I just got this piece made because I'm the GOAT. I'm the greatest of all time. And yeah, we're smarter than that, Snoop Dogg. You're a puppet. You're a player in the game. And unfortunately, at this point, everything is so in our face that they blatantly will lie to us. And we know they're blatantly lying to us, like Snoop Dogg here. And we just brush it off. The next day, we're on to the next thing. They distract us with something different. A new opening ceremony, a new war, a new, presidential election that takes place. And they continue to distract us, and they continue to get in our heads. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for coming in today. I really wanted to display more than the opening ceremony and all of this, weird, gay, transgender, Last Supper mockery. rather than really displaying all of that, I really wanted to talk about the original opening ceremony, the actual ritual where they go ahead and light the original candle in Olympia and leave that lit for 4 or 5 months at a time until the Olympics are over. That ceremony in specific is the real pagan ceremony, the real ritual that they go ahead and partake in before the games actually take place. And I thought I made a video on that before, but it was really good to go ahead and share this with the added context and content of the opening, performances that really weirded everyone out and were seen as blasphemous. And there's a lot of things happening in the world right now, from what's happening in Ukraine, what's happening in Palestine, to our Palestinian brothers and sisters undergoing a genocide, to what's happening right now with Venezuela and the elections that they just gone through, to what's happening to Haiti and how their government was overthrown by these gangs and overtaken, what is happening all over the world, things that are happening in Pakistan, things that are happening in Europe, things that are happening all over the world and are continuing to escalate more and more and more and more, and they're not stopping. I pray to God to go ahead and protect those who seek his protection and seek his guidance. And I pray to God that my family, my friends, the people around me, we're all vessels to one another. We all help each other get close to God Almighty. And, just protect us. Protect us from this crazy world where the devil has gone ahead and he steered the elites. He steered these human beings so far off track to go ahead and destroy humanity, destroy everything that we've worked for the last thousands and thousands of years. And they're really just trying to throw us in the garbage. They're trying to throw us in hell with them. And they want us to turn against God. They want us to turn to the devil. They want us to go ahead and lose faith. But everything that they're doing just makes me more and more and more and more strong in faith. Every single time I ask God to show me something, he shows me something. He shows me it deeper and deeper and deeper. And the more of these guys just throw it in your face and try and follow these prophetic prophecies of, the end times or the apocalypse, or whatever the case may be, it just gets more and more prominent. It makes me believe more and more in God, and it makes me go against them even more. So thank you guys so much for coming today. God bless every single one of you. Keep your heart and your soul guarded and protected. Pray, fast, and make sure you're giving it up to the Most High, the only God, God Almighty, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thank you guys so much. God bless every single one of you. And of course, as always, free Palestine, baby.